Okay, hey guys, so we're gonna start right off. Like we're gonna don't even we're not even gonna we're not even gonna we're not even gonna we're not even we're just gonna start off right where we left off. Last recap video. It seems like you guys are enjoying these recap videos. Well, I've only uploaded one, but my last and my first recap video was that I ever uploaded is literally my most viewed video on my channel. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, so I'll make a episode 2 of The Walking Dead Michonne. And again, if you went in the last video, if you didn't watch the last video for whatever reason, I'm not gonna be making recap videos for every single episode. It's just gonna be for the episodes that I unfortunately lost the files to and stuff like that. Um, so with The Walking Dead Michonne episode 3, we'll not be having a recap video. Obviously, if you guys really want a recap video for episode 3, I'll for sure do it. But as of right now, um, in terms of The Walking Dead Michonne, this will be the last recap video for the Walking Dead Michonne. The next video will be episode 3 of the Walking Dead Michonne, and it will be like actual like gameplay of me playing the game. Okay, starting right off where we left off last episode. So Zachary over here shot little old Greg because Randall told him to. After he tells Zachary to kill Greg, he leaves the room. There are two different ways that this episode can start, because Sam will want to kill Zachary for killing her brother, understandably, and you as a player, you as Michonne, can decide if you are gonna let Sam kill Zachary or if you aren't. I'm gonna base this recap on what I chose. So I chose to stop Sam from shooting Zachary. So I'm gonna continue from that decision. So, episode starts off with Sam wanting to kill Zachary. You get a choice whether to stop her or not. I chose to stop her from killing Zachary. So what happens after that is Zachary puts away his gun. So the only people that should be in this room at this point is Michonne, Sam, Greg, that's dead Greg, and Zachary. Okay? So after Michonne, so Sam wants to shoot and kill Greg for killing her brother. Michonne stops her from doing that. Zachary then puts away his revolver, his gun, and offers to help Michonne and Sam escape. Jonas then comes into the room to check on Greg to see if Greg's dead or not. Zachary and Jonas then both embrace, and it's alluded that they are a couple, they're together. Also, side note, I don't know if Jonas is the sole doctor of the encampment, but he is a doctor. Zachary then explains to Jonas what happened and that he killed Greg and all that. Next, Zachary and Jonas either, depending on your choices and how you dealt with things, they either decide to keep quiet about your plan to escape, or they decide to help you. Now, I decided, Zachary and Jonas in my playthrough decided to keep quiet and not help me. So from before, when Zachary said he was going to help me, he helped me in the way of he wasn't going to say anything. But there are also other gameplays or playthroughs where they both decide to actually help you escape. In my playthrough, they just decided to help me by staying quiet and not telling anyone about our escape. Sam also, as they're leaving, thanks Michonne for not letting her kill Zachary, because she realizes that if she did kill Zachary, she would really regret it. So the player can then sit happy thinking or knowing that they prevented Sam from potentially being traumatized by killing another human being. Sam and Michonne then proceed to, and obviously Sam says goodbye to Greg and everything like that, but Sam and Michonne then proceed to escape the place. So the first plan of action is that go outside and they want to attempt to make it to the deck where Pete is being questioned. So while all this is happening, Pete is being questioned by Randall, I'm assuming, or maybe Norma, I don't know. But he is separated from them and he's on the deck. Okay, so side note, the deck doesn't actually look like this. Obviously, this looks like some sort of deck that like came out of Red Dead Redemption 2 or something. But that's the closest deck I could find. All the other decks are like brand new, like spanking new decks, and I was like, that's not gonna fly. So I literally typed in old deck, and this and another one that looked disgraceful came up. Like the other one was like the tiniest deck I've ever seen. This was the best I could find, okay? So bear with me. Anyways, just imagine, picture a deck on a body of water. I don't know. Let your imaginations fly. So now what happens is that Michonne sees a guard in front of them, so she goes up to the guard and basically strangles him, and she manages to recover a flare gun from his body. He is now dead, as you can see from the X mark. They then continue towards the deck. As Michonne and Sam go up the stairs to get on the deck, they hear Randall and Norma arguing, as they are the ones questioning the group, and obviously they're trying to get information from them. Randall and Norma then eventually leave. Michonne and Sam then go up the deck, and Michonne goes directly to Pete, who is tied to a chair. She also spots her machete, which is on the deck, obviously, and she retrieves that, so she has a machete back with her, yay, and it's on a table next to Pete. Michonne then goes to Pete with her machete and attempts to free him, but Pete stops her from doing that because he states that if Norma finds him gone, then they'll be more at risk and less likely to escape. And as if they all summoned her, Norma appears, and she holds them all at gunpoint. And she also calls Randall over as backup. Side note, bearing in mind that Sam was hidden, she was on the deck with Michonne, but she was hidden, so Norma didn't see her. Norma then asks Michonne where Sam is. So meanwhile, Sam is actually sneaky and has managed to climb up onto the roof. Norma tells Randall to go and sound the horn to alert everyone, and they haven't seen Sam, by the way. She just wanted Randall to go alert the horn, because as she's confronting Michonne, and she doesn't know where Sam is, so she's kind of panicking slash ready to fight someone. Sam then jumps onto Norma, tackles her. She jumps from the roof, bear in mind. So she jumps from the roof, tackles Norma. Randall hears all the commotion, comes back, gets his assault rifle to get into the fight. Michonne sees him do this, targets him, goes to him, starts slashing at him with his machete, knocks him on the ground. He turns his rifle to shoot at her. Michonne kicks his rifle away. Hell no. They wrestle for a little bit, but then Michonne manages to bash his head a few times against the table and he knocks out. Michonne then gets up and tries to go help Sam, but realizes that Sam has been victorious, and Norma is also unconscious on the floor. Michonne then immediately goes to Pete and frees him with her machete. And Pete seems a little irritated because they use violence. He isn't really fond of violence. Speaking of him not being fond of violence, he immediately arms himself with a knife as soon as he's freed. So, pick your battles. And the three of them then continue to escape. As Michonne is freeing Pete and Pete is getting himself ready, Randall comes back to life and manages to sound the alarm. Everybody in the community starts to get alerted and get their weapons, and the guards begin patrolling the area. Now, don't mind the Spanish subtitles. Spanish speakers translate for the people who can't speak Spanish or understand Spanish. I can roughly translate it, but I'm not going to try because I don't know all of it. So, is this Spanish? Podemos nos esconder. Namina Casa Atefi. Is this Portuguese? Tell me in the comments. I'm not too sure if this is Spanish, Portuguese, another language, but I think it might be Portuguese or Spanish. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me in the comments down below what language this is. I'm curious to know. As they're hiding in this nearby boat, Michonne sees another boat that's unguarded, and she decides that she wants to attempt to run to it so that they can use it to escape. Sam wants to fight their way to the boat. She literally wants to slaughter everyone in their path. Pete, who's opposed to violence as he's holding a knife, doesn't want to do that. Because he doesn't want violence, he suggests giving himself up to the community so that the other two can escape. And he also states that he will be able to reason with the guards because obviously his charisma is no match for the guards. He can outwit and manipulate anyone he desires. No, but he basically wants to give himself up to the guards so that he can waste time and that Michonne and Sam can escape. Now you can choose to stop Pete or let him go. I chose to stop him because I wanted the gang to stick together. Michonne then notices a nearby patrol boat with flammable oil barrels. Was nearly not able to say that word, but Michonne then notices a nearby patrol boat with flammable oil barrels, and she exits the hiding spot and uses the flare gun that she acquired from the strangulation of the guard to set the barrels on fire. She then discards the flare gun and proceeds to fight off multiple guards that come their way while the barrels explode. So the barrels act as some sort of distraction. Now, as they all board the boat, this girl, Gabby, appears and holds them at gunpoint. Pete, while this is happening, was still in the water because obviously to get to the boat they had to jump in the water and then climb onto the boat. Pete was still in the water. Gabby didn't see him, and he swims up behind her and knocks her into the water. He then jumps onto the boat and they just dart. They just go. They just book it. And as they're going with the boat, as they're escaping, you can see the fire in the background just destroying everything. It just destroys everything. Sam then So as they're driving the boat, Sam tells Michonne that they can take refuge at her father's house. As they get to the shoreline, they get off the boat and they realize that a small herd of walkers are coming towards them. Obviously attracted by the noises and the fire and everything that's going on, the gunfire, everything. Michonne then tries to clear a path, but the residents of Monroe, which is the community that we just set ablaze, start to shoot towards them or shoot at them. Open fire on them. That's the right word. And they all have to obviously hide behind cover to avoid getting shot. They then decide that the only way they can go is through the herd, so they just decide to push through the herd. But obviously they can't do that all willy-nilly, so they need to figure out a way to do it without getting chomped on by the zombies. Or the walkers, my bad. So, as they're facing this horde and covering from the gunfire, Michonne remembers back in episode 1 that she did this thing, which you can see in the picture, which she basically chops off the arms and jaws of the walkers, ties them up, and then walks through the horde as if nothing's happening. And they're basically camouflaged, fully camouflaged. So she sees a piece of rope nearby, grabs that, and basically does this. She does this to two of the walkers, and they all manage to go through the herd perfectly fine, perfectly safe. Obviously, as they're going through the herd, Michonne starts hallucinating her daughters, which proves to be provides some difficulty for the group because she's kind of distracted, but they manage to do it safely. Randall and the others arrive at the shoreline at that point, with boats and stuff like that, and Michonne, Pete, and Sam start running off into the forest. And now now it's a chase. Now it's a chase. They're running through the forest. Randall and the others are running behind them, chasing them. Samantha says that there's a shortcut. So they go to the shortcut, and it's basically they have to climb up a radio tower. It's a collapsed radio tower, and if they climb up this radio tower, they can get to the top of the cliff, and it will be a shortcut to her father's house. As they're climbing the radio tower, Brandon and the group, see them and start opening like fire as they're climbing the radio tower. Reaching the top, Samantha is actually shot in the breast. Now, I didn't specifically know that she was shot in the breast, or didn't remember that she was shot in the breast, perhaps, but apparently she was. So she was shot specifically in the breast, and she gets shot because Michonne basically is about to fall, and Sam, as a good Samaritan, goes to help her, and she gets shot. Now, this random guy called Cam, which is right here, decides to be a brave little boy and climb the radio tower, and catch up to them. However, as he's climbing, the radio tower collapses due to his added weight, and it crushes him. So R.I.P. Cam, crushed by a radio tower. Michonne, Peterson, and Sam all manage to make it to the top of the cliff, and Randall and the rest of the team basically try and go around and find another way to get to them. Now, as Sam has been shot in the breast, you have to carry her the rest of the way. So you run through the woods with Michonne carrying Sam in her arms until they get to the house. Also Michonne has to carry Sam because she passed out from the blood loss, so you know. You eventually get into the house, you run up to the gates, get let in through the gates, manage to escape the walkers that are following you. You then get into the house and go to and plop Sam onto a table, and you basically start to treat her by pouring vodka or alcohol on her wound. And you basically just go ham, and you just do a little surgery, you become a little medic and treat her wound. So, meet the family. We got Sam's father, John. We got Sam's brother, James. We got Sam's other brother, Alex. And we've got Paige, who, if I remember correctly, she's a friend. So she joined the group at some point, and they've become really close basically because they've been together for a while. And they all ask where Greg is, obviously, because they're like, okay, Sam came back, but where is Greg? We've got Sam and we've got these two random new people, but where's our brother? Where's my son? And Michonne unfortunately has to break the news to them that Greg will never be coming back. I don't remember if it's Michonne or if it's Sam, but basically the news is broken, okay? Then after some time, John goes outside to deal with the fence, to make sure it's safe and then close it and all that kind of stuff. And Michonne goes out to join him, and they have a heart-to-heart, a nice little conversation. All of a sudden, bam! John gets shot in the head. As he's closing the gate, in the little gap through the gate, he just gets shot in the head. And it turns out, it's Randall. Randall has caught up to us, and he's now shot John in the head and killed him. R.I.P. John. Randall manages, because obviously John didn't manage to fully close the gate, so Randall manages to get in, and Randall and Michonne start scrapping. They start fighting. And the fight goes all the way into the garage of the house, where Michonne manages to clamp his hand in a vice. And now that Randall's in a vice and his hand is hurting like um, Michonne has won the fight, and you get a really big choice at the end where you can either kill Randall, satisfy your impulses, or not kill him and drop the wrench because you're holding a wrench at that moment, and you can either just hit him and kill him or just leave him alone. And I chose to leave him alone because stop the violence. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's the end of episode 2. That's the end of the Walking Dead Mission recaps also. So bittersweet, but there will be there will be more recaps in the future. Yay, and also oh no. Yay, because it's like I have fun making these recaps and I hope and potentially you guys are enjoying these recaps. And oh no, because that means that there are more files that I've lost, and so yeah. I mean, from the last recap, you already know all the files I've lost because I listed them all. So the next recap videos that I'm gonna have to record are episodes 4 and 5 of The Walking Dead season 1 of the main series, 400 days, the whole of 400 days, and episode 1 of season 2 of the Walking Dead main series. So after I've done recording and uploading all 4 of those, then it should be normal gameplays for a little while. And then I think there are a couple episodes here and there that need to be recapped, but the big chunk of it is now. The big chunk of it was the Walking Dead Michonne and the end of season 1 of the Walking Dead main series and start of season 1 Walking Dead main series. After that, it should be roughly mostly um, actual gameplay. So yeah, bear with me and thank you for bearing with me. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this recap video, and see you next episode.